Hello, my name is William and I'm from Wusik, and we are testing here now the Wusik station version 8. This is the first beta version we are testing, but it's already fully functional and everything works. So I already have some showcasing presets. And we're going to have some new presets coming this week, and soon we'll be able to load the older Wusik station presets. I'm still working on this code, but what I want to show you is the interface of the Wusik station version 8. We have the layer chainer here instead of the fixed number of layers for the previous version. Now you have multiple layers that you can mix and match, like sample player layer, wave sequencer, 3 oscillators. Let me show the 3 oscillators. So you have 3 oscillators, which you can select that kind of oscillators. We also have the super oscillator, which is a super unison oscillator. We also have the drawable oscillator, so you can draw the waveforms you want, or you can import from other wave files. And you have also provided, just like with Wusik 8000, we have provided the Adventure Kit collection of waveforms, single cycle waveforms. And then you have, for last, the audio looper. The audio looper is going to take any audio that you input to the plugin. Let's say I'm using Sonar and I have a drum percussion, and I input this drum here. I can play this drum sound. It's kind of like a granular synthesis, but something different. I have another video showcasing the audio looper, so you should check that out instead. Let me reload my sample player here. And there's several differences from Wusik station version 7 to version 8. Mainly I'm going to talk about the layer chainer, because it's different. On the Wusik station version 7 you have a fixed number of layers, and they were all one type. So you have oscillator 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then wave sequencer 1 and 2. And here I can have like 6 wave sequencers, or just 1 wave sequencer and 4 regular oscillators, and I can have any kind of types of different layers, because I can choose when I add a layer what kind of layer I want. The envelopes are multi-line graphical envelopes, the amplitude envelope, and also the modulation envelopes. And I can have any number of modulation envelopes, because I can keep adding. It's fairly unlimited number of modulation envelopes I can have, and also unlimited number of LFOs that I can have. And the LFO is pretty much basic LFO, but you have the key sync here, the fast option, so it goes to very high frequencies, the sync to the tempo, and we have different kinds of LFOs and phase, but we also have options that are hidden here, so you can already select things like modulation wheel to mount, aftertouch to mount, or send to layers vibrato or tremolo. So you don't even need to use the modulation matrix here for this purpose. The sequencer here is for modulating things. It's not an arpeggiator, it's a modulation source. So the sequencer, the aftertouch, the 2 medial learns options are modulation source, the modulation envelope, the LFO2, And you also have a arpeggiator, and you have a master option, which you can have a master arpeggiator that's going to affect all the layers, and the same goes for the key switch and sticky keys. And on the master option we have the send 1 and send 2, which each layer has the send 1 and send 2 options, and you can have any number of effects here. They all go in serial mode, but since each one has a wet and dry, you can select if you want to be serial or parallel, because it's going to leak the dry signal from the previous effect. And you also have insert effect per layer, so if I have more than one layer, I can have one insert in one layer, and on the other layer I'm going to have another insert, and I can have multiple inserts too, unlimited number of inserts per layer and unlimited number of sends per layer. The filters you also have an unlimited number of filters you can add, and you have, for now, at this moment, 4 types of filter, and also a custom filter, which uses script files that users can create new types of filters. Let me show you. Let's say I want to use a bit crusher as a filter, and I also have on some filters, the multi filter I don't have, but the other filters will have options like frequency kick follow or modulation to frequency that you can already add here directly on the options. I have here a filter key track preset. And you also have feedback delay. Let me load here. I have one wave sequence here that shows. So I have a drive. Each filter has a drive and a separate and hold, the feedback and the feedback delay. Just the custom filter doesn't have that. So you can have very different sounds here, and the sample player has a granular option right on it. Let me load here, granular morphing. So when you activate the granular, it is going to use the sample start position modulation to change the grain's position, and the size of the grain is going to be the tuning of the note you press. So low keys are going to have larger grains, and higher keys are going to have very tiny grains. You can see here that I'm using. You can see that I'm using the modulation sequencer. This is the modulation sequencer to change the sample start, which is, on this case, the grain position. We also have support on the wave sequencer for 4 sequences, so they run in parallel on a wave sequencer. And the main difference, let me cut my audio here. The main difference on the wave sequencer on version 8 is that the wave sequencer is like a very advanced arpeggiator, because you can select the layer you want to play from the sample player. So here on sample player I have 3 layers. Each layer is a full sound with multiple zones. It's not just one wave file. So each layer is actually a set of files, is a multi-sampled sound, and I can select which layer is going to be played. So on the wave sequence here, I'm going to have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I can select the volume, the octave, the timing, and I also have other options I can change. I can see 4 options at one time, but I can edit all these options here, and they're going to be stored on the preset. So even if I can only edit 4, they are all saved. And the difference here is that it's going to trigger, each of the steps is going to trigger that sound, and it's going to trigger the amplitude envelope. So let me see here. If I have a very fast envelope here, let me make my wave sequencer faster. So this way I can create much more complex sounds, because the wave sequencer now is polyphonic, and the all other products and that I know of, and Wusik Station version 7 and prior to that, is actually a how to explain it? It's a monophonic 2-voice wave sequencer. So it's very different compared to the version 7. And I just give you a rough idea of what has changed. Wusik Station version 8 is actually a new product that I did from zero, just reusing some of the Wusik 8000 code. So it's a cross-platform modern code which works on Windows and Mac, 32 and 64 bits, and VST, AU, audio units, and AAX for Pro Tools, and VST32. And on the master area, you have the master limiter, you have also a master tuning, and the regular things you would see. The interface is very different from version 7, but it's very easy to get used to it. It just takes a bit of learning from looking at the tutorials. There are several tutorials videos that you can watch at youtube.wusik.com, and some options are on the logo here. Just click on the logo and you can see some options, and there are also layer options. Each layer you can right click on the layer name and you can see that there are options there. So for instance, here I have the sample player options. I can fix the pitch of the sample player, disable vibrato if I want. If I'm using LFO for a global vibrato and this layer I don't want. This is also very helpful on the 3 oscillators, because then you have right click here and have options for each of the 3 oscillators. One very useful option is the unison mode reset phase at sync. Let me see here. Regular sound and unison sound. But if I want to reset the phase at sync, let me see, I have to do this on all of them. And you can see the difference. I have to disable. I have to disable the oscillator free running mode. And those are just some small things you can see on the options. We have a high quality mode for almost all options, and the high quality mode we're going to have a oversampled mode, so it's very intense on the computer, but has a very good sound. And what else can I say here? Well, that's pretty much it for now. Let me play some other songs here. So this gets you a good idea. It already loads all of the previous Wusik session sounds, just not the presets yet, but I'm working on this. So you can see you can load here different sounds. So there's a lot of stuff you can learn from the other videos, and this is it for this video. Thanks for watching.